Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is my second installment in my year-end video countdown list. This topic is going to be 5 potential NXT call-ups in 2019. So obviously Lars Sullivan is not going to be included in this list as he is about to be called up any day now. So of course, this is just my prediction and my prediction only, but I think a lot of these people could be called up in 2019. Now, of course, I understand that there still has to be some heavy hitters in NXT to help carry that brand for the men and the women. So do not expect all of these people to get called up. I probably expect only 1 or 2, honestly, because I think as we saw this year, a lot of the people that got called up, like Andrade Cien Almas, The Iconics, Zelina Vega, Sanity, a lot of these people are not being utilized correctly. So I think there's a beauty in maybe simplicity, like 1 or 2 people, not 6, 7, 8 people. I think that, you know, quality over quantity is very important, not only in wrestling, but in general. I think that having so many people get called up, the writing team does not have enough ideas and they cannot scramble quick enough to put all these people in good storylines. So they kind of get relegated to being in the lower mid-card or jobbing, honestly. Like, look at the Iconics. It's terrible. They're so good. They deserve so much better, but that's another video for another day. But like I said, I'm going to say this again, quality over quantity. So I'd rather 2 decent people from NXT get called up and booked correctly rather than 6 or 7 people get called up in the span of a year and all get booked like garbage. You know what I'm coming from? You know, I'm sure you guys get it. So without further ado, I am going to jump into my 5 NXT call-ups to the main roster for 2019. But first, I would love to give an honorable mention, and that honorable mention has to go to Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans has been signed to NXT for 3 years, or just shy of 3 years. It'll definitely be 3 years WrestleMania season. That is when she was signed, April 2016. So April 2019, she will be there officially for 3 years. She came in with a little bit of experience with 2 years under her belt. So you're thinking like 5 years experience. She needs to be called up to the main roster soon. Now, I know a lot of people will disagree with me, and I've gotten into a little bit of tiffs on Twitter about this. People say, no, I definitely think she's destined for that NXT title. It would have happened already. She would have got that NXT Women's title already, to be honest, because she has the best gimmick in WWE, of course, in my opinion. Her, like, Lady of NXT, 1950s housewife, calling everybody nasty, that is iconic. I love it. She has such a great gimmick, and she truly lives that gimmick on her social media accounts. Like, if you follow her, she's so funny. I really think she's a good in-ring worker, and her gimmick is excellent. Honestly, it's so, so, so good. So I would love to see Lacey Evans get called up, and to be honest with you, not to be rude, but like, not everybody is going to have the NXT women's title or the NXT title to get called up. Elias, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, the list goes on and on. There's a lot of people that did not get their big title moments in NXT, but they succeeded on the main roster. I definitely think Lacey Evans is going to be another person who kind of lives that truth, and she kills it on the main roster, because I just think there's a little bit too many huge talents in NXT right now. You got the Shayna Baszlers, the Bianca Belairs, the Kairi Sanes, the Io Shirai's, you know, Dakota Kai, Rhea Ripley. There's a lot of amazing talent, and Lacey Evans is amazing as well. But I think Lacey Evans' gimmick is fit for a bigger stage, and that is the main roster. I think Lacey Evans is going to flourish on the main roster. Don't be surprised if you see her after Mania. That's bold prediction, I know, but I just think her gimmick is so good that it needs to be for the main roster. I think it's just so iconic, and the world needs to see how amazing Lacey Evans is with this character, because it's so amazing. So jumping into my top 5 list, that was of course an honorable mention to Lacey Evans. Now, number 5, I have to say EC3. EC3 is someone who is pretty well known on the independent scene. He definitely made his name in when he went to Impact Wrestling. He created this amazing persona known as Ethan Carter III. His top 1% gimmick is so fitting for the main roster. It screams like Miz 2.0 in a sense, very much that. I think he is decent in the ring, but he just hasn't had a good run in NXT. Like, it's been pretty lackluster. He usually kind of jobs to these people on NXT. Not calling him a jobber, but he's losing more than he's winning. And I just feel like he's more destined for the main roster. And I just think his look is that of like the Vince stereotype. He's a big meathead. You know, Vince loves guys like that. But I think he'll do good on the main roster. I think he's someone that NXT can afford to lose. Yes, he's a decent talent. He puts over a lot of people, but I think that NXT would still be okay if they lost him to the main roster. You know, he's decently popular, but he's not like a huge heavy hitter. So I think that they would be okay with calling EC3 up to the main roster. Number 4, Alistair Black. So with the current storylines of NXT, it seems like he's just destined for that main roster. I think he will be getting called up very, very soon. I think out of all of these people, I think he's the most realistic choice because I think he's done all he could do with NXT. You know, after Tommaso Ciampa beat him on an NXT taping, it just seems like Alistair Black's kind of just been doing whatever. I mean, he had an amazing match with Johnny Gargano, don't get me wrong, but it just seems like he's done all he could do with the NXT brand. And I think that the main roster creative writing team, they're trying to kind of meddle their way with him in terms of a storyline. So I think they're just trying to fit him into a storyline, and I think he will be called up maybe in like a month or 2, 3 months maybe max. I think after Mania, he will definitely be on the main roster. It's only a matter of time. Number 3, Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is the first ever 2-time women's NXT champion. She is incredible. I was very hard on Shayna Baszler in the 2017 Mae Young Classic. I did not see it for her, but since then, since a year and a half ago, she has improved drastically. She is so incredible in my opinion, and I think that for her age especially, she is almost 40 years old and she still wrestles so good. Like, they call her the submission magician. She truly is an amazing submission specialist, well known for her work in the MMA scene, and she just transitioned that so flawlessly. Of course, she is best friends with Ronda Rousey, so I could see them doing that heel versus face storyline in about a year with Ronda and Shayna. I'm just so here for Shayna getting called up to the main roster. Plus, I would love for them to give Shayna a couple of years to flourish on the main roster. I'm the last person to drag people's age and whatnot, but you know, I would like Shayna to have a successful career on the main roster. You know, she's been in NXT over a year now. I think it would be great to have her on the main roster sooner than later, especially since Ronda's up there. They could do that 4 horsewomen kind of storyline angle, or they could pair her with Ronda and then have her turn on Ronda. That would be amazing. I would love to see Ronda versus Shayna. WrestleMania 36. Book it now, please. Thank you, Elena. Yeah, Shayna Baszler is definitely going to go to the main roster sooner than later. Number 2, this is where it gets so incredibly hard to lose these heavy hitters to the main roster. Number 2, I'm going to go with Adam Cole of the Undisputed Era. Now, do I think the entire Undisputed Era is going to get called up? Possibly. You know, it gives Adam Cole even more clout. So I definitely understand if they call up the entire group, which is Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. I think that they might just call Adam Cole up because that's a lot of people to lose, you know, just one call up, 4 people. And these are all heavy hitters. These are all big stars. Roderick Strong is legendary, you know, like he's a huge name in the indie scene. Kyle O'Reilly is very big. Bobby Fish is big, and Adam Cole is the biggest name of all of them, of course. Adam Cole is definitely going to get called up to the main roster. I'm glad that they gave him the North American title, so he did something for 4 to 6 months with the North American title. He's such a great wrestler. I think he's amazing. He's great on the mic. He's got a great gimmick, and he's a great in-ring worker. Shades of Shawn Michaels, definitely. Now, the main question is, does Adam Cole get called up separately or with his group? I think he should get called up with his group because for the casual viewers, it gives Adam Cole even more clout and more power with these guys backing him 1000%. But then you can also look at it from the angle that NXT is losing so many people in one shot. So it really depends how WWE is going to do it, but I definitely think Adam Cole is going to get called up in 2019. Number 1, the top heel in the business currently, Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa is incredible. He is the best. Ciampa is the best heel I've seen in years. He's so incredible, great in-ring worker, character flawless. Cannot say a thing negative about his character. He is one of the best in the industry today. Ciampa definitely should go to the main roster, but it would be such a big loss for NXT because this is NXT's main guy right now. Ciampa did that, literally. The main roster can only benefit from Ciampa, and NXT, it's a huge loss because Ciampa is carrying that division currently alongside like Adam Cole and Gargano and Black. All these people that I listed below definitely will get called up. It's just a matter of time, but I definitely see a few of these for sure getting called up in 2019. It's just a matter of how many they call up. I think honestly they need to stop calling so many people up every single year. It's like 8 or 9 call-ups per year. I think they should keep it at 2 or 3 max. Because as history shows, the writing team does not really know how to book all of these people. So it's hard for the writing team to integrate all these new faces on the main roster. So we're getting Lars soon. That's one person. So, you know, we get 2 to 3 more max because I want these people to do good on the main roster. I don't want them to be jobbers or to flop. So please book them correctly. Only call 2 to 3 up. And I think it will be more special that way. You know, it's not going to be like, oh, whatever, call up this week, call up next week, call up that week, call up this week, call up next week. Like, no, 2 to 3, space it out every couple of months. But I will be lenient for the Raw and SmackDown after Mania. I think there should be 1 debut on Raw and 1 debut SmackDown, and maybe SummerSlam, Survivor Series. You can implement 1 more person from NXT. That is it. No more than 3 people per year. The Iconics got screwed hard this year because they got called up and they didn't know what to do with them. Andrade Cien Almas, Zelina Vega kind of got screwed. Sanity royally got screwed out of all of them. Bobby Roode is another person who got screwed. Shinsuke Nakamura, sure, he's in the mid-card. He deserves way better. So it's like 2 to 3 max. That's it. 2 to 3 max call-ups. Please let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to get called up in 2019? Do you like my idea of having just 2 to 3 NXT superstars as opposed to 6 or 7 per year? I think quality over quantity is extremely pivotal when it comes to the main roster because the main roster is so filled with so many talents right now. So it's very tight. Please let me know what you guys think and subscribe for more videos and follow my social media and tap the notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a video. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.